And we are the Nerds in Flannel.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We will be discussing The Batman.
I'm Batman. Wait, we'll try that again. I'm Batman. Wait. I'm Batman. I'm Vengeance.
Bubbles.
Where's Rachel?
Where's the Bubbles?
Where is she? Okay, enough of that.
Rachel?
Enough of that. Oh my gosh.
The pop filter went to work just
then,
dude.
This is why we have a pop filter. My goodness. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Batman, directed by wait, I have
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. Why was I going to say Ryan Reeves?
Reeves.
Oh, that's a hockey player. That makes sense.
Fair
yes,
enough.
Matt Reeves. That came out today, technically.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw it last night, and we caught the 10:20 showing in Langley, and man, something about watching a Batman movie really late at night kind of does something different to you.
Oh, 110%.
Like, it kind of heightened our senses. Our spidey sense. Wait, wrong universe.
Wait.
Wait, wrong universe. Yeah, Ashton, why don't you give the audience a little bit of background of this movie, and then we can get into spoilers. There will be spoilers.
Yes, spoiler
but
alert.
we will let you know when we are talking about spoilers.
Yeah. So I guess some background. I know some of the background of how this movie was produced and made.
Yeah.
Originally, Matt Reeves was he came on to make the Ben Affleck Batman movie when he was still connected to it. If you guys didn't know, there was going to be a spin-off of Ben Affleck's Batman, and it was going to explain a little bit more of his character, and he was going to go up against like Deathstroke and some other awesome characters. And Ben Affleck was actually originally going to write and direct that one, and then he jumped off the project for that part of it, but he still stayed on as the casting. And then Matt Reeves started writing this and was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to make a Ben Affleck Batman movie. So he didn't. And then we got this one, which honestly, I don't even think is a bad thing after seeing this movie.
No.
So this movie, just to give it a little bit of a synopsis of what's happening, is this takes place in Batman's second year. And in this movie, it really shows a lot, and I won't spoil anything right now, but it really shows like a lot of him being a little bit more of a rookie, but a very different side to Batman than we've seen in other movies, I'd say. Yeah. Even Batman Begins, like, I thought it was going to be similar to that. It was totally different. Yeah. Yeah.
No, this Batman, he's still learning.
He's still learning.
Like,
dude.
he just, like, walks into, like, this, like, a dark elevator corridor, and he just lets the guy shoot him.
Yeah.
He just, like, walks up, like, 2 feet away, lets the guy shoot him, like, point blank. Batman 10 years from now would never do that. Never.
I kind of feel like that was a nod to a Michael Keaton scene.
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, yeah, no, that's not good.
That's not good.
He's trusting on the armor way too much. Yeah. The bat suit. Oh, let's talk about the bat suit. The bat suit looks really nice.
It looks really nice.
I kind of want to see him without a cape. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Batman's like famous for having a cape, but Batman Beyond didn't have a cape.
True.
So I think no capeless Batman would be pretty cool.
So if I were to describe this suit, I agree with that. Actually, I really want a Batman Beyond live action. But if I were to describe this suit, there's a lot of inspiration, I would say, taken from Arkham Knight in how the suit is put together. It looks a lot more like metal, mechanical. And then there's also, if you look closely at kind of the way that the cowl's formed and like the cape and everything, that seems to be taking inspiration from Gotham by Gaslight a little bit, at least, with how the collar comes down, the shape of the mask. Those stuck out to me even far before I saw the movie, when I was just seeing this in the trailers. Because usually, and actually, Nat on his desk right now has a model of Michael Keaton's Batman. I have the same one at home. But most of the other Batmans follow this, where sort of like the cowl is connected to the cape and all that. This one's like more separate.
It was independent.
It's independent of it.
Which is, I think, easier neck movement.
Yeah.
It kind of looks cooler. It looks so much cooler.
It looks so much more functional.
Yeah.
And a lot more beefier. And it actually kind of, it looks a lot like Arkham Knight, but it also has the spirit of Arkham Origins, when Batman was kind of first beginning, and he's kind of going in all bulked up because he doesn't know what to expect. He doesn't really know his abilities yet, but he's going in with all this tech because he can do that, and he's still figuring out his fighting style, sort of thing. That's at least what I got out of Arkham Origins.
Yeah, no, this suit is okay. It's compared to other suits, it's pretty skin tight.
Yeah.
But with armor on top of it. Robert Pattinson did bulk up for this movie. So it does look pretty good. One thing I will say is like the things around his wrists, kind of like a Black Widow-esque type of thing.
Yeah, true.
But like with his obviously he has a bat hook, bat grappling hook. There's a bat
it shoots out of his hands.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's really easy like for mobility wise in like the leg area, because in this movie he rides like a motorcycle a lot, and yeah, this is probably like this Batman's not the best like hand to hand, but like this like the synopsis says, this Batman is a detective.
Yeah.
And that's one thing people have been wanting for a very long time.
Yeah.
With the Riddler, it kind of gives like this cat and mouse chase, to this movie, and it's just really good the way they put it together. Matt Reeves did a really good job, and whoever wrote the script did a really good job. Maybe it was Matt Reeves, I don't know. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Pattinson. I will say he's my third favorite Batman.
Okay.
Third favorite. Wait. Is it my third favorite? Yeah, no, I'll go third favorite. He did a really good job being this really beaten down version of Bruce Wayne. I gotta admit the voice kind of he uses like a Batman type of voice.
Yeah, the Christian Bale
type. It's pretty
sort of.
it's okay. I don't mind it. It is what it is. Yeah, no, he looks really good in the suit. He's really good as a Batman. And yeah, Ashton, anything else to say?
Something I find super cool, this is just even about Batman as a character, is he's very dynamic.
Yes.
So, he's very inspiring. So you can get a ton of different directors, like really great movie directors, come in and show their vision of the character. And they can choose to tackle him from one side. Because again, because he's so dynamic, there's just a lot more you can dive into specifics. So I think the whole, like, Ben Affleck Batman, for example, Zack Snyder chose to dive in a more, like, The Dark Knight Returns, sort of Batman's aged. He's sort of lost the sense of heroism and humanity. He's just done, and he doesn't care about the criminals he's capturing. He's just kind of lost his humanity a little bit. But he also defines humanity next to Superman. So that's kind of what Zack Snyder wanted to do. Christian Bale, I think, was more... He showed more of a typical protagonist.
A billionaire, philanthropist. Nah, I can't say that. Philanthropist.
Yeah.
Playboy.
He showed more of that side with his Bruce Wayne, but also his Batman was like around the idea of justice and just trying to do right. He had a lot of pain that was driving him, but it was also just his moral compass that was driving him a lot more. I think what Pattinson does here is it takes a lot more of that detective sort of part of Batman, and that's actually, when Batman was originally written, that was a big part of his character, was that he was a detective. He originated in the detective comics line.
Yes.
This is a part of who he is as a character, and we've kind of lost that, I would say, in a lot of just newer takes in the comics and newer takes in like movies especially. I think the animated show did a good job of showing all that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so this Batman is a very specific Batman, a take in just part of Batman's character. I actually don't know, like, if you want a well-rounded Batman, this one definitely leans more to one part of Batman, if that makes sense. Yeah. So if you're judging the best Batman actor based off of that, he may be higher, he may be lower. I think that's why there's a lot of negative reviews about him. Yeah. Is because of that specific angle it shows. But I appreciated it because I love detective films. And I was just telling Nat, this reminds me of Jessica Jones.
Yes.
Like the whole movie, the narration that he gives, just the music. his style, even his fighting style.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, this movie felt a lot like an Arkham game.
Yeah.
And like Ashton was saying last night, it was like the Batman Telltale games.
Yeah.
So like, especially when like in the end,
Spoilers.
spoiler alert. Here we go. In the end, with that fight scene at the end with in the stadium, that felt a lot like the Telltale games. And then the way that he was fighting his enemies, especially in like that hallway scene I was talking about before, it was very Arkham-esque.
Yeah.
He was fighting one guy, then countering, and then hitting another guy, then countering, and it was really cool. Yeah, so I think probably this movie is probably really up there for me in terms of just Batman movies, non-animated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's your ranking after this?
Yeah. You know what? Actually, right now, I don't know about you, Nat. You always say this, but my throat's pretty dry.
Oh, is your throat dry?
It's my turn now.
Yes.
I think it's we got 2 Cokes here.
Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
Coca-Colas. There we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah.
Boom.
I'm thirsty. Wait
a sec.
Anyways, Batman.
Let's talk about Catwoman now.
Catwoman. Let's talk about Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz plays Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. And Ashton, what do you think?
I lost.
You lost.
I lost. Okay.
Ashton, family friendly show.
Yeah.
Goodness.
She did a really great job showcasing Catwoman. I like her Catwoman more than I think any of the other live action ones we've gotten.
Okay.
I think Anne Hathaway played a decent Catwoman, but I had a lot of problems with her character's motivations. I liked kind of her moral struggle that was shown in The Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. Like, do I help Batman? Do I not? Just that sort of thing. That's something that's showcased in the comics quite a bit. But she's such a like popular actress. When I look at her in that movie, it's just like, oh, it's another Anne Hathaway sort of like take. She just has this way about how she performs her characters. And then Michelle Pfeiffer, her Catwoman is something else. She's a pop culture icon.
See, that
for sure.
To me, that Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, is a lot more campy.
Yeah.
And I think it's supposed to be that way. And I was gonna say that's my favorite Catwoman.
Okay.
It's just she brings a lot of fun to her performance, and Catwoman, like in the
she's
comics,
a lot of fun.
Is very bombastic. That's the word. And yeah, especially the way that she like interacts with Michael Keaton's Batman and Bruce Wayne when she's Selena Kyle. It's a lot of fun to watch. For me, Kravitz, she did a really good job.
Yeah.
Way better than Anne Hathaway.
And we won't even talk about Halle Berry in this.
Who's that, Ashton? I don't know what you speak of. Anyways.
Good answer.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz, she did a really good job.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see her more. Because apparently she is getting like some type of spinoff. I'm not too sure. Things are still up in the air with that. Mm-hmm. But if she comes back in the sequel with Pattinson, I'll be very happy. Yeah.
That's one critique for sure. I think she could have played a lot more of a fun Catwoman.
Yeah. She was fun. It was just like I felt kind of bad for her because her friend died, and this is a very beaten down, like, even with Batman. This is a very beaten down Batman and Catwoman. They've seen a lot of crap. Because they're both. If you know the comics, their pasts are pretty rough and not great.
Yeah. And
I think they did a perfect job conveying that. It's just like, I wish there was a little bit more like fun energy between them two. It's mostly romantic between them two, but I wanted them floating around a little bit more. I understand with like the context of the movie, it doesn't really work, but I feel like Matt Reeves could have squeezed that in somewhere. I kind of liked at the end though, like at the end of the movie, the motorcycle scene. Yeah. Where she's like, "Oh, come with me," and then she's like, "Oh, you're already spoken for by the city of Gotham." Mm-hmm. I mean, that was the city of Gotham part was implied. And then she rides off, and then Batman rides off behind her, and then they come to this, like, sort of intersection thing, and they just go both the opposite directions. So she goes to Bloodhaven, he goes back to Gotham. Yeah. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I think in the future, I'm giving them an excuse for that this time, because it was the first movie. Yeah, you have to set stuff up. So they kind of already established their relationship a little bit. So if and when she comes back, I think she can play around and have a little bit more fun, mm-hmm. especially now that pain, like pain's always there, but it's not as prevalent to the plot, or relevant to the plot, sorry. Yeah.
let's talk about Bruce Wayne, dude.
Bruce Wayne?
Bruce Wayne. Do you have any thoughts on Bruce Wayne?
This is a very, very dark Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Darker than Christian Bale Bruce Wayne. Like I said, this guy is beaten. He always has he's always hiding his face. I especially knows that when he just has his hair down, he's covering his face. And maybe that was a costume and style choice, but if that was intentional, good for them. Also, he's always working in the shadows. Like, it is Gotham. It's always dark. It's always rainy. But I think this Bruce Wayne, he's hung up over his father more than anything. And you can really see that in this movie because he's fighting for his father. And then it turns out that his father was kind of a bad guy. He's a politician. I mean, what do we expect? But it's crazy. Just when he realizes what his father is, it kind of turned the movie around, and his motivations change. And I think that's really cool the way that they showed that. And Pattinson's performance really conveyed that.
So I agree. I think the whole father thing was an interesting take.
Clever.
Again, that kind of a lot of the whole Batman's parents being corrupt thing comes from Batman the Telltale series, which I loved. Even right away when they brought up that conflict, I was like, oh boy, they're going there.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. Now, I'm not as big of a fan of this Bruce Wayne. And here's why.
Tell me why. Ain't
nothing but a heartache. Pretty much.
Tell me why. Okay.
So he's definitely a lot more of a goth sort of take on Bruce Wayne.
He's emo.
He's emo. He's very
he's listening to too much My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy.
Oh, 110%. Yeah, he's definitely a lot darker. But something to me that I really love in seeing a Bruce Wayne, and again, this is something that the animated series did pretty well, and especially Mask of the Phantasm. And even, I think the Christian Bale ones did this one well, where you can't have Batman without Bruce Wayne. And even if Batman is the real character and he's just pretending to be Bruce Wayne, that's sometimes where the script likes to take us. That's totally fine. Batman can be the true character and he's putting on the mask of Bruce Wayne to go and just do all that stuff, but he knows he can't do funding, he can't do any of this other stuff for Batman if Bruce Wayne doesn't exist. There's a whole comic storyline in the New 52 that goes over why that's so important.
Yeah.
And I just don't really feel like this Bruce Wayne cared that much. He was just all encompassed by Batman, and I would have liked to see a little more. And I was reading some critiques, and I think some other reviewers thought the same thing, where it would have been cool to see a little bit more effort in the Bruce Wayne. I get for the story they wanted to show this different take on Bruce Wayne, but yeah, I really think they could have showed him being a little more putting up sort of his facade of Bruce Wayne, putting a little more effort into that, because again, you can't have Batman without Bruce Wayne, and if you just completely ignore Bruce Wayne, then
you're missing the entire point of
Batman. So hopefully for the next movie, after, because at the end of the movie, we get to this part where he realizes he can't just be vengeance, he has to be hope.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the next movie, he can show that hope through Bruce Wayne as well, through Bruce Wayne's wealth. And after all the stuff that happened with Riddler, he can also just put more effort into philanthropy and other stuff and just really show more of a balanced, or even if it leans more to the darker Batman side, I'm fine with that. I just need a little bit more Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I hope with the next movie, especially with the Riddler in this movie, and spoiler alert, the Joker was in this movie towards the end. So I'm really looking forward to having this very, very psychologically damaged and physically damaged and everything, just Bruce Wayne that is trying to survive. I really love it when our heroes get absolutely destroyed, and with the Joker, you never know what's gonna happen. This is why the Joker is Batman's best villain, because he's
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. Oh, one's trying to like make like save everyone, no suffering, and the Joker just wants to watch the world burn. And that's why they work perfectly together, because they're yin and yang. Man, I'm really excited for these the next movies. Why don't we talk about the Riddler movie in this movie? The Riddler played by Paul Dano. I love Paul Dano, first of all. If you don't know who Paul Dano is, he's been the Swiss Army Man. He's been in There Will Be Blood, Prisoners, Little Miss Sunshine, and like probably one of the like he's a really good character actor. Like he's American. He's from New York, and he's just like he's really good.
He actually even looks like the Riddler in the comics.
He sure does.
They nailed this casting.
Yeah. Honestly, pretty perfect. So like. One thing I want to say about his performance is his laugh is perfect.
Yeah. His
laugh is absolutely perfect. Towards the end, when he gets caught, he laughs. I'm never going to try to do it. And it's really good. And I really like when he is not the Riddler and has his mask off. I think he's more terrifying with the mask off.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big thing. Especially in Batman comics, because they have touched on that a little bit. Yeah. That's all I really have to say. He did a really good job. The Riddler really... He won. In my mind, he won.
Yeah, same.
Because he did end up, like, mentally destroying Bruce Wayne. He flooded the entire city of Gotham. Killed many people with his, like, his clan of, like, followers. And he put fear into the people of Gotham, and I think... Yeah, that's all he wanted. In the end, that's all he wanted, and I think he succeeded, and that's why I think he's, like, probably better than Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually.
I think, like, Bane did a lot to Gotham, and, like, he even broke back, like, Bruce Wayne's back.
Yep.
But I just feel like the emotional damage is so much, it's gonna, like, affect him so much farther in, like, the long run than Bane, yeah. What do you think, Ashton?
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking up. So, one of the comics that Matt Reeves based this movie off of was Batman Zero Year.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to figure out, and I think it is the right one. He based off a bunch, but in those comics, Riddler actually does dominate. At least for the main part of it, he wins. And I'm happy they went that route, because you don't get a lot of movies where you see the hero make mistakes, or because he's a rookie, he makes mistakes and then then he learns from them. Like, you don't get that. And I think this movie really showcased that a lot. Batman's biggest mistake was trying to be fear rather than hope. And the Riddler took that and just played him perfectly, to the point where Batman's watching Gotham pretty much be destroyed, like be flooded and everything, and he can't do anything to stop it because he wasn't looking at the bigger picture of what Riddler was trying to do there. And it's such a rookie move, right? But we need sort of that development, because without making mistakes, we have a professor that says without suffering, you can't have spiritual formation. And same thing, without making those mistakes, you can't learn from them and just do better next time, right? Or just change your thinking. And this Riddler really challenged Batman on that, on an intellectual level. Mm-hmm. Now, also, for those that were expecting Edward Enigma, they changed his last name to Edward Nashton.
Yeah. Which
is scarily close to my name.
Ashton? Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't see it. Yeah. So I was thinking at first that last name was like just something to throw us off, but it's his actual character name, so that's cool. I'm fine with it. Yeah, he did a much better job at Riddler than Jim Carrey did.
Oh, I know Jim Carrey was fun. It was just like
he was fun, but he was a Jim Carrey character. Yeah. He wasn't like a comic, like true to comic sort of character.
That's true. Yeah, no, this one I to be fair, I really like it when superhero movies get dark. But I think this is kind of like a perfect balance between dark and just like real life. Because some superhero movies get way too dark for their own good. I'm talking about Batman versus Superman.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked
One of
it
those
too,
guys.
man. But like, oh man, who cares what your mother's name is? Frick
Fair.
off.
Fair.
Where's
Martha?
Where's Martha? Where is she? Wait, that's the same line. Wait. Save Martha!
Save Martha!
Why'd you say that name? Why'd you say that name? Okay. I think this is a perfect time for a break. So enjoy a word from our sponsors, and then we'll talk about more Batman. Thanks, guys. This episode of Nerds and Flannel is sponsored by Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm is the best place to make and record podcasts. We use it for every single episode. We absolutely love using Anchor. Very convenient. Doesn't cost us a thing. But recently we want to start making premium content for you guys. So that means we would have to put it under a paywall. And in order to watch and listen to those videos, Ashton's going to tell you where to do that.
Yeah, so where you want to go if you want to support this podcast is anchor.fm/nerdsandflannel/subscribe. Again, that is anchor.fm/nerdsandflannel/subscribe. Huge shout out to anchor.fm for sponsoring this podcast and for being an awesome platform for whatever your podcast needs are.
Yes, thank you, Anchor.
Welcome back from the break, everyone.
Wow, that was nice.
Yeah, what a great... Hello. We're still here. We exist. We're still doing this recording.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's hop right back into some other things about the movie.
All right. Take it away.
Cool. Yeah, so we already talked about sort of the main... I would argue 4 characters, because I think Bruce Wayne and Batman can be seen as 2 different characters.
Yes.
So let's dive into some of the other ones. Let's do Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell,
he was actually kind of hyped up for
the Penguin.
Ooh. Do you think he did better than Daddy DeVito?
No.
And I said Daddy intentionally.
Yes,
not me.
I know.
Okay.
No, I do not think he did better than Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Danny DeVito's Penguin is so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's pretty comic accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, for that one, for Danny DeVito's Penguin, he's a little bit more of a jokester. Than a mobster. In this movie, Colin Farrell plays the mobster Penguin.
Yeah.
But I think his performance is really good in this movie. I think he's underutilized in this movie, but maybe just because it's Riddler, the Riddler is the main character.
Yeah. Because
this is a detective movie. But oh man, I don't know what to say. I can't say too much about him because there wasn't much screen time. But the scenes that he did have with that card chase scene, he was really good in that scene.
Oh, 100%.
But other than that, there wasn't much. Yeah, the movie didn't give him much time to shine, which I thought was kind of disappointing because Colin Farrell's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see more of him in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought the makeup that they did for him was impressive. Mm-hmm. He looks completely different as the Penguin. I would say he actually, he looks as accurate as you would want him to look in live action.
Yeah.
Because the Penguin can sometimes look a little weird in the comics.
A little.
I would agree. I think so far, Danny DeVito's take on the Penguin is probably still my favorite. Because I appreciate sort of that fun, sort of but it's still very sinister take on the Penguin. And again, this was more of a mobster take. But I think they're setting him up to be something bigger in future movies.
Yeah.
Because now, and it's another massive spoiler, Carmine Falcone is dead.
Yes.
So the next big mobster in town is going to be Penguin.
Yeah. And
they don't really call him Penguin, but they allude to it.
Yeah. He even walked like a penguin for a little bit in this movie.
Yeah, true.
When they tied him up. That was very good.
That was a good nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else here? Who else we got here?
We could do Jim Gordon.
Jim Gordon?
Jeffrey Wright.
Good job, man.
Dude, I was impressed.
Dude, honestly, really good job.
Yeah.
I saw him in No Time to Die earlier this year, and I actually loved him in that movie. He's been in the movies before.
Yeah.
But I think he did a really good job. He plays this very James Gordon who's seen a lot of crap. I mean, I guess that's all the characters. I know I said that a lot.
Lieutenant Gordon, not Commissioner.
Sorry, Lieutenant.
I don't think you said Commissioner.
No, there's no Commissioner.
Yeah, there's no Commissioner Gordon right now.
Yeah, he's gonna end up being it eventually.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's really good in this movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his take on Jim Gordon. I also loved the dynamic that Batman and Jim Gordon had, because they don't showcase this, but every time, like in the movies, whenever Batman's around Jim Gordon, he's there to just get him to mobilize the police to do something, whereas Batman's actually working alongside him.
They're like
Jim
partners.
Gordon is like kicking ass. They're partners.
Yeah.
And I loved that take because it gives us such a cooler... Like, it makes Jim Gordon more of a really awesome character rather than just sort of the side character who's there just to further the plot.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually there. He's doing something. You feel stuff for this character. And eventually, if they bring Batgirl into the mix, Barbara Gordon, like, there's going to be some emotions there, too,
I'm scared if they bring Barbara Gordon into this universe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I'm going to be so scared. Because for those who don't know why I'm scared, it's because Batman the Killing Joke is pretty hard to read and watch when they came out with the animated version of it. Like, watching that live action, I think that would be crossing the line for a lot of people.
Probably.
But they would have to do it in a very tasteful way.
Yeah.
Because she does get paralyzed and raped by the Joker. And that's just not what you want to hear or see or anything.
Yeah.
In the comics, that was like a turning point for Batman, especially in that comic line. Man.
And the whole point of that comic line was Joker wanted to prove that if anyone has a really bad day, that they too would turn into what he turned into. So he tried to demonstrate that with Jim Gordon. He sent him through this tunnel full of just these nude pictures of his daughter. And anyway, that's getting really explicit.
Yeah.
Very, very disturbing. Yeah, totally crazy. But that's one of the storylines too where you see Jim Gordon shine, because he doesn't break in the end. Mm-hmm. He's traumatized, obviously, but he doesn't break. He doesn't cross any negative moral lines. And I have faith, like, if they were to do something like that, obviously not as extreme.
No, I hope, yeah.
But if they were to do something like that, I think Jeffrey Wright could really pull it off.
Oh, 100%.
Just based off of what we saw in this movie.
No, he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want him. I can't wait to see him in, like, future movies. I just love him. And most of the stuff he's in. Like, he's been in Westworld, The French Dispatch, No Time to Die. He's been in a lot of other things.
Doesn't he also voice the Watcher?
Yes, in What If, yes.
In What If, yeah, Marvel What If.
Yeah, like we should say that Batman is a very dark character, and especially the comics.
Yeah.
Because it's technically just this normal guy set in like this really terrible city that like is eating him alive. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good.
Let's do Alfred next.
Alfred Pennyworth, played by Andy Serkis, who plays Gollum in The Hobbit, in Lord of the Rings. He plays in Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, and the Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. He's also Caesar in the Planet of the Apes trilogy.
That's also a Matt Reeves.
Also Matt Reeves,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Also Matt Reeves, yes. You know, he's been in a lot of really good things.
And even he played Claw?
Yes,
Claw in Black Panther.
And he played Snoke in the best Star Wars movie, Episode 8,
Shut up,
Last
dude.
Jedi. He was really good in that movie.
Your opinion is invalid.
No, it's okay. He just, this Alfred is a secret keeper.
Yeah.
He didn't tell Bruce this big like piece of information in the movie.
I really like that.
But I think their relationship is very good. I would say this relationship is closer than Michael Caine and Christian Bale because of one scene. I've never seen Bruce Wayne and Alfred hold hands in a live action movie before.
Yeah.
And it was like at the beginning, Bruce Wayne says, "You're not my father," and then he's like, "I know," and then like when Alfred, there's a bomb that goes off and it like injures Alfred and puts him in the hospital. During that scene, it felt like that was a father-son relationship. And it was really beautiful to see that. That was a really well directed and acted scene. Action. Andy Serkis.
Yeah. So this Andy Serkis. This Alfred. I was genuinely shocked because when I think Andy Serkis, I think mocap, right?
Yeah.
he already kind of surprised us earlier in the year by directing a comic book movie. He directed Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I still haven't seen it, but I've heard it's
pretty good.
Some people think it's better than the first one, and I thought the first one was aight.
Sure, yeah, we'll say it's better. We'll say it's better.
Okay.
It's a lot more fun.
It's more fun, okay. And, yeah, I think he doesn't really... For me, I'm going to be honest here. I didn't really think he was good to play Alfred at first.
No.
He doesn't really have that typical sort of Alfred look to him. He still feels kind of young to play Alfred. But I think I was definitely wrong about all those things. Because the Alfred he plays is so different. He's really Batman's father.
Yeah.
He raised Batman. He taught him initially how to fight. Batman learns other stuff later on. But, he's, this Alfred knows how to do things. He's not just the butler. He's solving riddles. He's doing all this stuff. And he's also he's Batman's father. He's the one who raised him. And he even admits in the movie, I'm not the perfect father figure for you. You needed a father, in Thomas Wayne. But for Batman, he is Batman's father. Might not be Bruce Wayne's father, best father choice, but he's definitely Batman's best father of choice.
Yeah. Like we hinted at before, this movie is more of a... I want to say it's more of a Bruce Wayne movie than a Batman movie.
Interesting.
Because it does deal with his family history.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about Batman. Just a regular guy. It's actually just a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
I can make that if I had billions of dollars. But that's neither here nor there. Ashton, I have a question for you.
Yep.
If you were to give this movie a rating out of 10, what would it be?
Out of 10.
Just off the top of your head. I think I give it an 8.
I think about the same thing. Yeah.
I want to give it a 9. I want to give it a 9, but it was just, I don't know why. It's hard.
Again, it's a very different take on Batman.
Yeah. I think I would have to watch it again.
Yeah.
To give it a true rating.
Yeah, same.
So tonight, you free tonight?
Ayo?
No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I forget it.
Yeah. we went late last night.
I'm tired, man. We got back at 2. Oh.
It was a really good movie. I think Andy Serkis is probably my favorite Alfred.
Ooh, favorite Alfred.
He might be my favorite Alfred now, just because he's also a Secret Service, or not Secret Service, but British service, whatever. So he knows how to do things more so than the Michael Caine one did. More, I really liked where Jeremy Irons' Alfred was going, but we didn't get enough screen time with him.
Yeah, underutilized.
He was underutilized. And then I think, again, better than Michael Caine, better than some of the other ones.
I think Michael Caine is still my favorite Alfred.
Okay.
Yeah.
He played a more emotional Alfred.
Yeah.
I think this movie also gave me my favorite Catwoman, my favorite Riddler.
Ooh.
I'm still not sure about Jim Gordon because I really love Jeffrey Wright in this, but also there's just, I don't know, maybe in future movies he'll pull through.
Yeah, this movie gave me my favorite James Gordon.
Okay. And
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe favorite Batman? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
yet.
Let me watch it again. Because I've seen a lot of other movies a lot.
Yeah.
Ashton, I think we should wrap it up soon. But as we were talking during the break, I want to go through our top 3 live action Batman movies.
Okay.
How about we do that real quick? Why don't you give me your number 3 first?
So my number 3 that I have here, I might get some hate for this. Batman vs Superman.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Oh,
Number 3. So here's the reason I chose that one was because The Dark Knight Returns is one of my favorite storylines.
Okay, fair enough.
And I really got on board with Zack Snyder wanting to show this Batman who's lost his humanity, but compared to Superman is the definition of humanity.
Fair enough, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, there's just something about, even his physique, I think, he's not playing quite as stealthy as, he does in the movie, but in real life, he wouldn't be quite as stealthy. but he's a lot more fight ready. He's experienced. He's been toughened up by all this other stuff. That's just the way that he goes. And then also in that movie as well, I talked about this in our DC episode. I like Snyder's take on his personal creative vision. Now, I don't think it's the definitive Batman for me.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But I can appreciate what he was trying to do with it. And yeah, that's a really unpopular opinion.
You know what? No, I respect that.
Okay.
I respect that. You like Batman versus Superman. I like The Last Jedi. You know, we're all weird.
Except you're wrong.
No, you're wrong too. It's okay, buddy.
Dang.
You know, it's okay to admit when you're wrong. I'm kidding.
You know that too, right?
Shh, it's okay. Shh.
You're allowed to have opinions
Child,
even if they're wrong.
It's okay. Shh. I know. Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, mine is Batman Returns.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. That's the tweet.
Catwoman.
Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Dude, no, it's just really good. It's a lot of fun. No, it's a really fun movie.
It is fun.
I think Batman once in a while should be fun. But one thing, I don't care about anything else in the movie. I love the chemistry between Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Keaton.
They had the best chemistry.
They had the best chemistry of any Batman, and because I love Catwoman in the comics and in video games especially.
Especially, hey, Arkham.
Yeah, no, because she just has a really good storyline in the video games.
Yeah, and you can play as her as well, which
yeah,
is really cool.
She's in Injustice: Gods Among Us, and she's a really OP character in that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, Batman Returns.
Cool.
Ashton, number 2.
Oh
wait, do you know what? I'm looking at the list right now. Can we just go together? We have the exact same.
We have the exact same one. Yeah, it's this one. It's the Batman.
The Batman, number 2 for us.
Yeah. We kind of just did a whole episode on why it's
good.
It's good.
It's really well put together. Everything just works really well. And go watch it.
Primarily for me, it's just because I love the detective investigator side of Batman. And I'm happy that this movie pulled that off and did a lot more on top of that.
Also, the cinematography is great.
The cinematography was excellent, dude.
So good.
Oh my god.
Best looking Batman movie.
And even some of the Easter eggs too.
Yeah.
Like, I love when Falcone's like when Batman's walking Falcone to Jim Gordon and he's like, "You with Zorro over here?" Because I forget if it's in the movies or in the comics. Zorro is the movie that Bruce Wayne went to see with his parents the night they were shot.
Yes.
So I thought that was a pretty fun Easter egg.
In some cases, it's a movie. In some cases, it's an opera.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
We don't know, but
I think the definitive thing is opera.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
I think from the origins, yeah.
Yes.
But I think in the New 52, it was Zorro, so that's what they were referencing.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And yeah, it was a really good take on a side of a really dynamic character, and Matt Reeves is awesome at
good job, buddy.
Doing that stuff. So
come on the pod.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
And our number 1 Batman movie of all time. No. We build it up. Okay. Dang it, you ruined it.
Dang, I ruined it. I'm sorry.
I was gonna make a Batman and Robin joke. Oh man.
Bat nipples?
Bat nipples?
Dude, it would have been so much better if you had bat nipples.
No, I don't think.
No,
dude, bat credit card?
Bat credit card?
The bat credit card.
Oh, that movie was so easy to roast, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know about Ashton. To me, it's almost a perfect movie. I do have one complaint. Is that they tried to rush the end. The ending was a slightly rushed. I know that it was actually like a ticking time bomb technically at the end, but I think they rushed the end a little bit. But this movie is really good.
Yeah. It
is probably one of my favorite comic book movies of all time, if you can call it a comic book movie at all.
Yeah, true.
Because it's just like I said, Batman's just a guy in a costume.
Yeah.
Obviously Heath Ledger's performance, Oscar-winning performance.
Yeah.
Really well done. It's just a really well put together shot movie. Practical effects. Christopher Nolan, of course, right? So it's going to be a good movie. You're going to be thinking. Ashton, anything about The Dark Knight?
Yeah. I just love how they didn't try to justify the villains. Mm-hmm. So Joker wasn't really justified. Harvey Dent, okay, he was justified to a point where he needed to be.
Yeah.
And I think the whole movie it just flowed well with that twist, mm-hmm. where all of a sudden Batman is taking the fall for all this other stuff, and because he has to keep the hope of Harvey Dent alive, and I think that's just horrific.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, Christopher Nolan, we've raved about him before. Excellent filmmaker, and that's, again, something I like about Batman, is that awesome filmmakers like Matt Reeves or like Christopher Nolan can come in and do their own take on Batman and make an excellent film in the process.
Yeah, and plus those guys are just really good storytellers.
Exactly.
Among filmmakers. I think storytelling for Batman is very important. That's why I don't think Zack Snyder did a really good job. Because he's not no offense to the guy, like, he's made millions of dollars in movies, and his movies are great, but storytelling wise, like, he's okay. He makes really good looking movies, but plot is always very questionable.
I'd love to see him do like an animated sort of take on it, because I feel like he could get away with more of his vision in an animated format.
I feel like he'd be a really good to do like a year 2 Batman.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be really good. Ashton, anything before we wrap it up?
I think I'm good. Stay tuned for more stuff, I guess.
Yeah, what are we doing next week? Well, Oscars are coming up.
Yeah.
So we will be doing a Oscar predictions. We also have our top 5 favorite actors and actresses of all time. We have 2 guests coming on for that, so that'd be very exciting.
Yeah.
Probably have a music podcast eventually with another guest.
That'll be
like
fun.
Favorite songs, favorite bands. Maybe you'll hear us sing. Hopefully not.
Maybe you'll hear our guest sing, because he can actually sing.
Our guest can sing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I hear him all the time singing.
He's great.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah. We should do a summer, like, anticipated summer movie list.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
That'd be fun. We will be doing, like, video podcast eventually.
Yeah.
Probably in the summer when we have more time.
Yeah.
Especially in May. Maybe we'll start off in May. What's coming out in May? Top Gun.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Oh,
Yeah,
it is coming out in May.
True.
So yeah, maybe we'll do. Well, yeah, maybe we'll do that. Yeah.
Cool.
Anything else?
Yeah. If you would like to rate the podcast, that would be really cool. Share it with people you think might enjoy it. Thanks for listening, and especially those folks listening in India.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We still haven't gotten an email yet.
Yeah, we want to know. We just want to know.
Just hit us up. And if you have any ideas that you'd like to hear us talk about, like if you're on campus, talk to us about it. If not, just email us
at nerdsandflannelpodcast@gmail.com.
Boom. And also, I think YouTube.
YouTube
too.
And YouTube comment section. And I'm on IG at VanCityNat57. Look me up. We should get an Instagram account going. Might as well. I already have like 3 accounts on my phone. Might as well just keep it going.
Yeah. Facts.
All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Nat.
And I'm Ashton.
And we are the Nerds in Flannel.
Peace.